Straight ahead on 12 News, a crystal man's remarkable transformation.
I just put the blinders on and went full tilt.
How he managed to lose 172 pounds. Plus, you're used to orange on Halloween, but what about teal? We'll explain. But first, complaints about affordable housing. Some local cities say they're bearing an unfair burden. 12 News starts right now. Hello and thanks for joining us on 12 News. Brooklyn Center and Brooklyn Park are accusing the state of unfair affordable housing practices.
And today they took their case directly to the federal government's top housing official. As Sonia Goins reports, the two cities claim current practices are taking advantage of poorer suburbs.
Affordable housing can enhance prosperity across the Twin Cities.
The Mayflower Church in Minneapolis was ground zero for a frank discussion on affordable housing.
Our community, as much as we're proud of it, has the dubious distinction of having some of the biggest disparities between black and white and brown wealth, income, and unemployment.
Part of the dialogue centered around affordable housing in affluent suburbs.
The current housing policy does not do enough to redirect funds to provide access to those experiencing poverty, building more units in affluent white neighborhoods where those in poverty can gain access.
Officials in Brooklyn Center say 80% of their housing would be considered affordable. But they say the low rents and low mortgages bring along other problems.
You were talking about education and how that affects concentrated areas of poverty. We have 4 school districts in Brooklyn Center. We see what it's doing to our school districts. We see what it's doing to our housing market.
Brooklyn Park and Brooklyn Center are part of a complaint that was filed last year against the state. They say affordable housing practices have increased poverty and racial segregation in their cities.
Aggressive policy changes are needed to undo the segregation. If we do nothing, there will be more segregation in the Twin Cities and in many of the first and some of our second-ring suburbs.
I'm proud of the work that we're doing.
Housing and Urban Development Secretary Julian Castro says there needs to be more of a balance when it comes to affordable housing.
We need to create greater opportunity for affordable housing in the suburbs of American cities like the Twin Cities, but we also need to reinvest in older urban core neighborhoods.
Officials in Brooklyn Park and Brooklyn Center say they're not opposed to affordable housing. They just want other metro cities to jump on board too.
If cities would lose federal dollars, park money, and other state infrastructure dollars, they would figure out a way to provide more affordable housing in areas of high opportunity.
Sonia Goins, 12 News.
The Met Council and the Minnesota Housing Finance Agency have asked HUD to dismiss the complaint. The federal agency has not yet made a decision.
There is one less headache for drivers in the Northwest Metro. The ramp from 694 to southbound 494 in Maple Grove has finally reopened. It's been closed since early September. The reopening was delayed for several weeks because of construction issues and cooler weather that delayed the curing of new concrete. Southbound 494 traffic between 694 and Highway 55 has also been shifted to newly constructed lanes.
A family-owned Brooklyn Center manufacturing company is expanding under new ownership. Cast Screw Machine Products is expanding its Brooklyn Center campus, adding 26,000 square feet to one of its 5 buildings. The expansion happens under new ownership. Eau Claire, Wisconsin-based Heartland Equity Partners recently bought the company from Greenwald and Wise families who have owned Cast Screw for more than 50 years. All 127 employees and CEO and President Steve Wise will stay with the company.
A local congressman and a local state representative visited a Plymouth company to look at the growing field of clean energy. Plymouth-based Noble Conservation Solutions showed off various light bulbs to Congressman Eric Paulson and State Representative Sarah Anderson. The company helps clients reduce their energy consumption. They made a pitch to lawmakers for tax incentives that will allow them to grow.
Part of it is just making sure that the tax incentives that are put in place are actually there for a longer period of time, and they're not just there retroactively or for 6 months, but the companies who invest and they go out and they convince people to invest in these projects that they can count on this type of a credit being available.
Federal lawmakers say Minnesota is a leader in clean energy innovation, ranked 8th in the nation for number of clean energy patents filed.
Well, this weekend will be all about candy for a lot of families, but Brooklyn Park is kicking off Halloween weekend with a health and wellness expo.
We'll have about 15 vendors from the community, local businesses and shops, and activities for the children.
The event takes place tonight, that's Friday night, from 6 to 8 at Brooklyn Park's Community Activity Center. Families can take part in physical activities, learn more about healthy food, and get information about health and wellness. The event is free. Now, Halloween isn't all fun and games. For parents with a child who has food allergies, Halloween can be a real headache.
But there's a solution that begins with looking for pumpkins painted teal.
The Teal Pumpkin project is pretty cool for my family because my daughter has food allergies, and so it's a way that we can kind of show being inclusive to everybody who might not be able to eat candy or certain types of candy on Halloween.
The Berggren family in Crystal is one of many families who are putting out a teal pumpkin and offering an allergy-free treat option. The movement started in 2014 and has grown to promote not only allergies to peanuts and tree nuts, but also allergies like gluten or latex.
I love the fact that the Teal Pumpkin Project is raising awareness, and I'm hearing a lot of people who don't have food allergies that are starting to do it.
The Hy-Vee store in New Hope had a teal pumpkin display to educate people on the project. If people do not want to buy or paint a teal pumpkin, they can print off a sign off of foodallergy.org advertising that they carry non-food treats. A Crystal man is literally half the man he used to be.
His remarkable weight loss transformation is coming up next. Then later in sports, highlights from heartbreaking losses for Wayzata in both football and girls soccer.
But first, a decent forecast for Halloween trick-or-treaters. Temperatures in the 50s and rain-free. Anyone who has tried to lose weight knows that it can be a huge challenge.
John Bathke of Crystal faced this daunting task recently, and as Eric Nelson found out, the results have been impressive.
This was the guy that was 371.
John Bathke is a loser.
My waist went from 60
who is winning
to 36. Big difference.
Bathke is winning the battle of the bulge.
It's really telling when you look at photographs.
In 2014, he lost 172 pounds in 9 months.
I was just big, fat, obese.
After ballooning to 371 pounds, Bathke has shrunk to 199.
I got a big smile on my face. What?
Bathke is half the man he used to be.
John Bathke is a chocoholic. That's why I got this mess in the first place. I love chocolate. This is Janice and me.
The 62-year-old Bathke did this through a MetaFast nutrition program.
I'm around 2 1/4, which I haven't seen
that focused on water,
decades.
protein bars,
That was me at the final weigh-in.
shakes, lean meats, and greens.
I knew what to eat, I knew when to eat it, I knew how much to eat, and now I knew why.
Bathke also kept the pounds off by mixing in vigorous power walks through his Crystal neighborhood.
I could knock off a 3-mile power walk in 45 minutes, and I was feeling great. This is Veronica.
Bathke gives lots of credit to his MetaFast coach Veronica Mermelstein, who gives him a weekly push.
I love her dearly. I wouldn't be here without her. Stick to the Plan is not just a book about weight loss.
Bathke is so motivated by his weight loss that he is writing a book titled Stick to the Plan.
When you're done reading that book, you're going to want to act. It may be for yourself, it may be for a loved one, it may be for somebody else.
Bathke is confident that the book will be a smashing success.
That book is going to be a bestseller. There's no doubt in my mind. There is no doubt in the publishing company's mind in New York.
If all goes well, John's book will be out by Valentine's Day of next year. And this is just the start. He's going to write 2 more. In Crystal, I'm Eric Nelson, Channel 12 News.
Bathke says he has plenty of energy now and jokes that instead of just chasing his grandkids, he can actually catch them. That's got to be an inspiration to a lot of folks.
Stick
Wow.
to the plan.
Yeah.
I like that. Good message.
Coming up, a frightening night to benefit a good cause.
But first, Osseo comes up big in prep football. We'll have highlights from the Orioles' big game with Lakeville North up next.
A lot of excitement at high school football games again tonight, and you win tonight and you move on.
Into the Final Four for Class 6A, yes. The state Class 6A football playoffs continue Friday night with 2 more quarterfinal games. Maple Grove takes on Burnsville in what should be a great game. The Crimson haven't faced the Blaze in the past, so they've been learning about a brand new opponent. Once a top state powerhouse, Burnsville hasn't had a lot of success lately, but they have a strong group right now.
I know this is kind of a class similar to Armstrong that I think for a long time they've had circled, and they've had really good kids coming up through the ranks. And always in the coaching community you hear, oh, people got really good kids in 7th. You actually hear all that stuff, and this was a group Burnsville had that I knew was very good. So I know this is a great team they have, and we're looking forward to playing them.
Well done here. Maple Grove advanced to the state quarterfinals with a close win over Armstrong. Many of Maple Grove's players were in the state playoffs last fall, and that experience helps.
Gets into the end zone. Just being there before, going through it. Last year didn't end as well as we wanted. You know, we all remember that feeling. Now this year, it's just the goal is not to let that feeling happen again and get all the way this year.
Yeah, definitely. I think we have a lot of returning guys this year, so I think that definitely helps with a lot more experience on the field. And we've all been, a lot of us have been in this position playing the state quarterfinals, so I think we're ready.
Maple Grove and Burnsville play at 7 o'clock Friday at Hopkins. You can watch the game Saturday at 7 p.m. and Sunday at 1 p.m. here on Channel 12. The Osseo football team was back in the state playoffs for the second time in 3 seasons. The Orioles meeting Lakeville North in the quarterfinals Thursday. After an early interception, Lakeville North's Drew Stewart hits Nick Fossey for the TD, and it's 7-0 Panthers 4 minutes in. After an Orioles field goal, Darren Lamker's team gets a touchdown as Malik Gaylord throws the jump ball, and DeMario Armstrong pulls it in. It's 10-7 Osseo. The Orioles defense comes up big. Cordell Russell gets one of 5 Osseo sacks to halt a Panthers drive, and it's 10-7 at halftime. Third quarter, Gaylord fakes the handoff and tosses to Christian Tharp wide open for the touchdown to make it 17-7. After Lakeville North cuts it to 17-14, Osseo drives the ball 98 yards, capped by a Prince Crua sweep for a touchdown. Lakeville North scores once more, but Osseo wins it 24-21. The Orioles will play either Eden Prairie or Tortino Grace in the Class 6A semifinals next Thursday night at Minnetonka High School. Wayzata qualified for the state Class 6A football playoffs for the first time in 3 years. The Trojans meeting Eastridge of Woodbury for the first time ever. Eastridge having success running the football in this game. Dominic London muscling his way into the end zone. 7-0 Raptors. They'd be up 14-0 after 1. Looking for more, Eastridge goes to the air, but Sam Colpine picks off a pass near midfield. And he runs it back deep into Raptors territory, setting up a Wayzata touchdown and cutting the lead to 14-7. Down by that score, the Trojans will strike again. Jake Marsh, perfect pass to Tyler Didier for a 68-yard touchdown. Wayzata ties the game at 14. The Trojans continue to dominate the second quarter. Foster Conzit with a 1-yard touchdown run. Wayzata takes a 21-14 lead into halftime. Game tied at 21 in the fourth quarter. Marsh, play action, hits Grant Slavic for an 8-yard score. Wayzata leads 28-21. But Eastridge would come back to tie it, and on the final play of the game, Raptors kicker Grant Ryersey boots through a 42-yard field goal, handing Wayzata a heartbreaking 31-28 loss. Eastridge is on to the semifinals. Wayzata's girls soccer team drew a familiar foe for their Class AA quarterfinals. The 4-seeded Trojans were matched up against number 5 seed Eden Prairie in the state playoffs Thursday. Third meeting of the season between these Lake Conference rivals. Scoreless in the second half. Bailey Hyde's crossing pass redirected by Ashley Dillon, but off the post and out. And it stays scoreless. And later in the half, the Eden Prairie corner kick deflects out to Kara Bean, and she drills the shot through traffic and in for a goal. That holds up as the game winner. The Eagles advance to the semifinals and ending the Trojan season. And finally, congratulations to the Breck doubles team of juniors Grace Zumwinkle and Lauren Kozakowski. They won the state Class A doubles team today. And get this, they beat their older sisters, Anna Zumwinkle and Kendall Kozakowski,
Wow.
6-1, 6-4.
What a great matchup.
Yeah.
Huh?
That's amazing.
And thanks a lot, John. Still ahead, up close and personal with the Boo Crew.
A visit to Haunted Acres next. Well, there's a vampire that's adorable and friendly. She and other kids in Robbinsdale got an early start on Halloween. The Robbinsdale Chamber of Commerce held the first annual Halloween Give and Get event Thursday evening. Kids 12 and under could pick up candy at businesses on West Broadway. Just one trick, you had to bring a non-perishable food item to get the treats. All the food donations benefited the Prism Food Shelf.
We're gearing up for the holiday season. Right now we're seeing about 600 families a month coming through to visit us. We provide them with about a week's worth of food. We also have a thrift shop where people can buy clothing very, very inexpensively, and we help with housing needs.
Prism serves families in Robbinsdale, Golden Valley, Crystal, New Hope, and Plymouth. Well, there's still time to take in a good fright night at Corcoran Lions Park.
In today's Weekend Showcase, Neil Persley dares to take us to Haunted Acres.
How many nights are you guys working?
Linda Herkenhoff is the official volunteer coordinator for the night.
Everyone knows to dress warm because it gets colder as the night goes by.
Running a sort of ghoul school for helpers donating their time to make Haunted Acres a fearful experience.
All these lights are going to be off, so we'll be finding your way through here with flashlights.
Haunted Acres in Corcoran Lions Park on the edge of Maple Grove is a joint effort by the Northwest Jaycees and the Corcoran and Hamel Lions Club to benefit their communities. Last year, the effort contributed $15,000 to local area food shelves. This is Osseo Merchant's second year volunteering at the house.
I just really enjoy giving back, and the feeling you get when you volunteer doesn't compare.
For others, it was a Fright Fest first time.
I thought it just might be something different, to volunteer for, rather than like IOCP or, I just want to have something fun, this is really fun.
Everyone comes, every night somebody's been here doing something for the last month. So it's a lot of volunteers. They put the house together, the inside, the elevator.
An elevator? You'll just have to come experience that one. The night begins in makeup, getting all glorified by professional makeup artists, also donating their time.
Alrighty, you're all set.
It was scary enough just taking the tour.
But stay close to them because they're not going to want to get near you, so that they feel confined.
Once it's dark, the actors are in place and the sound techs get to work. The house comes alive. If you make it out, stroll around the creepy grounds and have some hot chocolate around the bonfire. From Haunted Acres in Corcoran Lions Park in Maple Grove, Neil Persley, World News.
Haunted Acres opens at 7 o'clock tonight and runs through Halloween. The cost is $10 per person. Keep in mind, people with heart conditions and small children are discouraged. They stress that you enter at your own risk. Definitely looks like a little bit of older place.
Did he say if you make it out?
If you make it out.
That's the part that worries me.
Little behind the scenes look there too at getting
looks
ready.
like
that
a
was
good one.
nice.
Yeah.
That does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
Community Corner is coming up next. Have a great and safe Halloween and have a good weekend, everyone.